Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Lone Wolf, the Prisoners of Time. In the last episode, we got thrown into the portal and we arrived in the Dizian Plain. But we met some golden giants who took us to their leader, who was supposed to be even bigger than them, but it turned out to be a big-brained cripple being held in the arms of another big brute. And of course,
but he seemed like a chill guy.
Yes. He was.
He could have been worse.
Karzie thinks he was chill. I'm not sure. I think his intentions
I'm
are
just
a bit
saying, we sensed all sorts of power coming from this guy. I feel like he could have commanded us to be locked away. He could have just psychically screwed us.
Wasn't there a bit that said, oh, he has big power, but he can use it to further good or further evil? So he's not like a neutral person. Like, with an evil person, I know where I stand with him. He's my enemy. But you just can't... You don't know what to do with the neutrals. Like Zach Brannigan says.
The only thing that I'm worried about is that he's going to sell us out. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But I think he doesn't care enough. Like, he's all about his era. Yeah. He could take care of his people, just living in his world.
Yeah, I don't really think he cares. Alright, so page 188.
This device, says the beholder, pointing with pride at the huge fiery vessel that dominates the gallery, is a dimension door. It will enable you to pass directly into the realm of Vazolda. Through a rent in fabric of the Dazarine, you stare in awe at the sunlight ball trapped within the vessel and try to comprehend the secret sorceries that enable such a thing to exist. You will come to learn that the laws which govern my world are quite unlike those which shape ours. Here, time and space can be manipulated by those with powerful enough to craft them to their needs. He says in answer to your thoughts. He wills his servant to carry him to another globe which stands close by. There he manipulates a bank of crystals and gradually a swirling circular gray shadow forms on the glassy surface of the vessel. It shimmers, and you find out that you cannot fully focus your eyes on it. Step forward and enter, commands the beholder. The door to Vazolda is open. Neat looking thing. Doesn't look safe, but hey, whatever.
Looks like a little sun inside there.
It kind of does, doesn't it? I mean, yeah. Your skin prickles and your stomach churns, but you fight to control your fear by relying solely on your Kai skills. You sense that the beholder is speaking the truth. The gray portal does lead to the realm of the Vazolda, and so, with great trepidation, you bid him farewell and step into the void.
At the very moment you enter the dimension door, a sensation of incredible speed assails you. A twirling spiral of light unfolds before your eyes, and you hurtle towards its core, borne along in an envelope of grey cloud. You close your eyes, but the light penetrates your eyelids, growing ever brighter. It fills your head with a madness of colour and forces a silent scream of anguish from your lips. Lose 3 endurance points. A sudden lack of air leaves you gasping for breath, but it passes an instant. And when you blink open your eyes, you discover that your journey is complete. You have arrived in Vazolda.
Have you ever been on a roller coaster, but then kind of regret it halfway through? It just ends up too much for you. Yeah, I feel like that's what's happened here.
I'm used to roller coasters now. I know what to expect, but I know what you mean. The first time I went to Alton Towers, the UK, before they killed people, I went on Nemesis and Air, and they just twist you all around and throw you high in the air, and you go upside down even. Just nah, mate. But then I went again for seconds.
Once was plenty enough for me. All right. From the brow of a grassy hill, You stare across a strange yet familiar landscape. Before you lies an expanse of verdant grasslands with clumps of woodlands and several winding streams. The warm air smells fresh and clean, and the distant sound of birdsong is carried to you on the gentle breeze. Were it not for the gray, sunless skies above, it would be easy to believe that you have returned to your home world. A sudden wave of homesickness makes you feel heavy-hearted, but you refuse to allow it to weaken your resolve. Instead, you scan the horizon in hope of discovering some form of habitation. If you possess the Manichae discipline of Hunt Mastery and have the reach the sky, that's the one we're picking.
Using your Kai skill, you focus your telescopic vision on the far horizon and see a group of shapes that resemble small pyramids of stone. However, you are too far away to be able to tell if the structures are inhabited. A nearby stream meanders in the direction of the distant shapes, and you decide to follow its course in the hope that it will lead you to them.
Huh. The stream wends its way sluggishly through a mossy glen to a thicket of red-leaved trees which stand in a semicircle around a pale gray metallic monolith. If you wish to investigate the strange monolith, turn to page 275. If you choose to avoid it, turn to page 53.
Let's check it out.
All right, this is either going to be a good thing and we get a buff, or this is going to be a serious bad thing. I think.
My logic is, in the movie Ants, the monolith is where all the food is, and that's where Z goes and he finds the monolith, so it's real. I hope we get a bunch of food as well.
See, I'm just thinking like every game ever where either a monolith is like a place to get a buff of some sort, or it's just like damned ground or something. I don't know.
The base of the monolith is overgrown with weeds and wild flowers, indicating that it has stood here for some considerable time. Yet its metallic surface bears no obvious signs of weathering. It is tipped with a transparent spike, which resembles a short glass spear. You can hear a faint humming sound when you place your ear to its mirror-smooth spire. The sound seems to originate somewhere deep below the ground. If you have the Manichae discipline of Pathmanship and have attained the Kai rank of tutelary or more, turn to 283. If you don't possess the skill, then piss off. But we do have it.
We come across a lot of those options. If you have this, go there. But I guess that's how you play the game. Your Kai skill alerts you to the possibility of an ambush. A group of hostile creatures are approaching the thicket, drawn by the sound of an alarm, inaudible to human ears, which you set off by touching the monolith. If you wish to evade these creatures, go to 135. If you decide to stay and confront them, go to 343.
I'm feeling like a fight.
You're feeling like a fight?
Yeah.
All right.
340.
All right, yeah, we can lose some hit points.
A group of hairy, squat-limbed creatures step from the shadow of the trees. They are armed with crude spears, which they clasp in their ape-like hands as they approach nervously. They surround you in a wide circle, and one of their numbers utters a loud, twittering sound. Then he narrows his eyes and tilts his head, as if expecting you to answer his call. If you possess the Manichae discipline of Pathmanship and have reached the rank of Scion Kai, or if you possess the Manichae discipline of Animal Control, turn to 309. If you have neither of the skills, you're gonna die.
Pretty much.
This is basically our substitute for Animal Control, which is our Pathmanship ability.
Just understand all languages. There you go.
We got a TARDIS.
That's your ability.
That's what the TARDIS
Your
does.
Kai... Oh.
Sorry.
Your Kai mastery enables you to understand the bizarre language these creatures use. The one who spoke introduced himself as Lion Krill, an elder of the Ukar. He then asked if you came from somewhere called Melidor, and from the tone of his voice, you get the distinct impression that he is hoping your answer will be yes. If you wish to answer yes, go to 194. If you wish to answer no, go to 16. If you choose to say nothing, go to 108.
Let's just tell the truth. We'll see what happens. Wait, did we come
So
from
we'll say
Melodor?
no.
I can't remember.
I don't think so.
No, I've never heard of Melodor before.
What was the Shining City called? It was called something else, wasn't it?
It definitely
Yeah, I
wasn't called
forget.
Melodor here. Definitely not.
Okay. So
I'm
we're answering no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, answering. The word we are saying is no.
The word we are saying
Page
is no.
16. The stumpy little Ukor takes a rapid step backwards when you tell him you do not come from Melodor. Nervously, his followers close around him and raise their spears, forming a defensive wall to protect their leader. You assure them that you mean no harm, and try to explain how you arrived in their land. But fear and suspicion cloud their eyes, until you mention Serocca, the name of the one whose help you seek.
Very well.
Says Leon Krill pensively.
We will take you to Serocca, if that is truly your wish.
10:35.
For several hours, you accompany the Ukar across a vast tract of grassland, featureless, save for a narrow trail and a line of low hills, which rests on the horizon like a sleeping colossus. During the trek, you become very hungry and must eat a meal or lose 3 endurance points.
We'll use Hunt
Or
Mastery,
just,
and we'll eat one of the creatures.
yeah, I was just about to say, we'll just eat one of the older ones or something, you know? I don't know. Eventually, the trail ascends to the peak of the hills. And as you clear the crest, you see a remarkable sight beyond. Turn to page 222.
The walled city of Thas, home of the Ukor, lies before you, spread out along the center of a narrow wooded valley. The low pyramid-shaped dwellings are built around a tower of stone, its color identical to the drab grey of the sky. Straight thoroughfares teem with Ukor, who pass freely and leisurely through the crisscross of narrow streets. The path leads down to an open gate in the city wall, guarded by 2 of the squat-limbed humanoids. When they see Leon Krill and his patrol approaching with you in their midst, they give a call and a crowd comes rushing out the city. They gather around you, chirping and twittering excitedly, while Leon Krill tries his best to calm them down. They're hairy and they tweet. I remember that from
Are they?
voice.
They hairy birdmen things?
Hairy birdies. Okay, I'm imagining they're sort of like the lawyer from Futurama, that chicken lawyer.
Tain't no need to fear me.
The blue chicken lawyer.
Blue chicken lawyer from
He's got
Futurama.
that foghorn leghorn accent. I say.
Oh god, it's been so long. How do I not remember this? I'll look it up later. I'm curious now. In a frenzy of excitement, the citizens of Thas press forward on all sides, pawing, prodding, and staring slack-jawed as you are brought along the main street, which leads directly to the Great Tower. Your escort are hard-pressed to keep the crowd at bay, and by the time you reach the tower door, your clothes are disheveled, and you are scratched and bruised, lose 2 endurance points. With a loud, grating rumble, the stone door moves inward, and you are given into the charge of 3 bronze-clad Okar wardens. They usher you up the winding stair to a bare chamber, floored and walled with smooth stone slabs. Silently, a section of the drab wall moves aside, and silhouetted in the opening stands a tall, feline shape of a remarkable creature. I am Serocca, she purs
Oh,
hypnotically.
a cat. That makes more sense, actually. Like
And
purring, chirping. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the leader of the birds would be a cat, I guess.
Apparently. I still like the idea of the foghorn leghorn accent, so I'm going to use it for someone.
Oh, go for it. Do you think she should have a foghorn
No,
leghorn
she
accent
should.
too?
Did you have a cat?
And I bid, and I say I bid,
Don't.
you welcome, lone wolf. Come now, and I say come now, enter my chamber. so that we may discuss your reasons for journeying so far to seek my help. If you have the Magpie display side screen and reach a rank of tutorial or higher, go there. Which is what we're gonna do.
Now everyone's gonna have that accent. You sense that Serocca is imprisoned in a cage of psychic energy which surrounds her chamber and prevents her from passing through the opening. This energy is extremely powerful and has been synchronized to react to her brainwaves alone. To enter the chamber would cause you no injury, but if she ever attempted to pass through the invisible wall, the resulting release of force would be enough to destroy both her and the entire city of Thas.
Why do they have this?
I don't know. She's a prisoner.
Well, okay then. Cautiously, you pass through the opening and follow Serocca into a tall domed chamber that is supported by a circle of huge rose-veined marble pillars. At the center stands a large table, and from the ceiling directly above, a flood of light pours down, reflecting and refracting upon its crystal mosaic surface, and bathing the chamber walls in spectral colors. She bids you to take a seat at the table, and she lowers herself elegantly into the seat opposite. You cannot but admire her beauty. Her face has the feline characteristics of a young lioness, yet her eyes and youthful body are distinctly human, save for the soft, velvety nap which covers her flesh. She bears an aura that is powerful and confident, and yet at the same time, she seems vulnerable and sad. How do you know my name? You ask. Slightly unnerved by the familiar way in which she welcomed you into her chamber. There is much I know about you, she replies voraciously, and at once you sense that you are in the presence of a godlike being. Your land and your fight across the forces of darkness who threaten to conquer it are but part of the struggle which rages through the planes of existence. Yet it is your world and your fight that has become the focus of this conflict between the powers of good and evil. She pauses, and then staring deeply into your eyes, she continues. Upon you depends the future of us all. Stunned by the enormity of what she says, you shake your head in an open-mouthed silence. No! How can this be? You breathe incredulously?
Incredulously. Yeah.
Incredulously. There are those who seek to destroy, to shape destiny, and those upon whom destiny falls. Destiny has chosen you, Lone Wolf, and you cannot refuse it, for it will force itself upon you. But how have I become the focus of such a struggle? You reply. We are all part of it, she says. The worlds of Aeon and the Dazzarine are shaped by the actions of those who exist there. Yet the time has come now, and I say the time has come, when the actions of one individual will shape the future of both worlds. You are that individual, I say, Lone Wolf. And your actions are destined to shape the future of every living thing. But what if I refuse? You say nervously. What then will happen to the future? I say you cannot refuse, she says softly.
That was like the complete opposite of softly.
For everything you do is bound with your destiny. Your vow to complete the Magnikai quest and restore the Kai. Will you give that up? Will you forsake your country and its future security? Will you abandon Magnamund to the evil of the Darklords? No, I say no. By your very nature, because of your honor and your courage, you will act out your part. What then must I do? You ask. You must do what you have always done. You must listen to the words of those who will help you. And you must let your skills and instincts be your guide. She leans forward and sweeps her hand slowly across the surface of the table. The light dims and patterns take shape amongst the tiny squares of crystal. Observe and learn, she says, for the images will impart knowledge, and that will aid your quest for the lore stones and I say, your ancestors.
I didn't realize it doesn't just sound like Foghorn Leghorn, it sounds like a fucking evangelist.
It does! I started thinking that halfway through it. I started turning into that.
God. Okay. The flickering patterns draw into focus, and you see before you a panoply of strange scenes, and the faces of many unknown creatures, some human, some bestial, and some that defy description. Many of the events which have befallen the world are mirrored here in the design, says Serocca, as you watch, with growing fascination, the image of a battle taking place between men and beasts. We too, I say we as well, are threatened by the forces of darkness. Many ages ago, we triumphed over evil, but our victory, I say victory, was incomplete. Now our nemesis has come in the guise of the Chaos Master, but the Holy Spirit will save you.
Just call this number!
The devil!
And submit your credit card! And you too can be saved!
Everywhere, his seething corruptions encroach upon the goodly realms of the Daisyon, twisting and consuming all they touch. The vision of the battle fades, and is replaced by a living map, similar to the light picture you were shown by the beholder of Yanis. Here are the realms that lie between the elemental strongholds of earth and water. Once this region was rich and populous with the creatures of light, but now it lies ravaged by the cancerous realms of paradox. Only Vozada and Melodor continue to resist. The others have either disappeared into the Neverness, or been transformed into desolate wastelands. Here, I say here, she says, pointing to the middle of the table, is the Negoth Forest, once the most fertile of the great timberlands. Now, the Scourge of Chaos splits it asunder. And I say here, the plain of Guakor, the mightiest of realms that the Daysyon has ever known, reduced to dust by a plague of fire-breathing Zenga. Tears well up in her eyes, and you sense that the vision of Guakor has stirred painful memories. If you wish to ask what troubles her, turn to 288. If you choose not to intrude on her grief, 345.
I just want to talk. I just want her to talk more.
Let's talk more.
So
Let's ask.
Okay. Okay. It is the cruelty of the Chaos Master that saddens me so, she says in a whisper, as if fearing to be overheard. Before his coming, the plain of Grukar was ruled by a great warrior called Sinne, whose only fault, it was said, that the Serviette of Pride was a Serviette
I
of
have
Pride.
no clue what that word means. I'll look it up
Okay.
I'll get back to you.
He loved me and wished for the union of our realms. But alas, his love was unrequited. The joining of the Grukar and Vazda was not to be. To win my love and restore his injured pride, Sinne struck a bargain with the Chaos Master. For in keeping with the paradoxical nature of that god, he is obliged to indulge in the granting of the wishes to those who would dare demand them of him. The Chaos Master wove a spell to enchant me, and Sydney has granted his wish. I became enamored of him. But the bargains of the Chaos Master are in keeping with his nature. They are cruel and fickle. Upon the hour of our wedding, he appeared and demanded that Sine pay for his wish by ceding him half his realm. He was refused, and in retribution, he imprisoned me here in this tower and wrought upon Sine such physical mutilation that he fled Gukar and hid himself in shame.
Do you know what became of him?
You ask. Yes, she replies sadly. He is the ruler of a new realm. He has regained his power, but his body is forever a cruel reminder of his past of his pact with the Chaos Master. He is the one who sent you to me. He is the beholder of Yanis.
Oh.
So wait a minute. So let me see if I'm getting this straight. The beholder made a deal with someone so he could hook up with Cat Lady?
Think so. Yeah.
And he betrayed that deal, and now he's cursed in his little body. I guess.
So they were going to marry, then the Chaos Master wanted half his realm, he refused, and then he was given that body, like that weird mutation thing, and she was locked up in the tower. Also, surfeit means an excessive amount of something, so he had a surfeit of pride. So an excessive amount of pride.
Oh.
That's why in all of his texts, he kept saying he says with pride or proudly, like back when he was speaking.
We call that an asshole.
Serocca blinks away her tears and forces herself to concentrate on the matter in hand. Oh shit, this is the page where we would have come if we'd skipped that previous page.
Oh.
Again, the image fades from the table and a new one takes its place. A picture of forested hills and steep-sided valleys.
This is where the lost stones emerge from the Shadow Gate,
She says, her voice now calm and controlled. That's anything but calm and controlled.
Hey, I love this choice.
I detected their presence immediately. For the power they radiate is extraordinary. Where is this place?
You ask.
It is in the Goth Forest, close to the border with Melada. I give you an estimate that the lost stones lie within a few hundred yards of the Tolakos, the ancient burial ground of the Melodorians.
She replies, with caution in her voice. They should tell us how it sounds before I read it.
No, I'm digging this.
Is this not good news?
You ask, relieved to know at last where the objects of your quest are situated.
Yes, it is. But for the struggle now taking place in the region, the Melodorians are locked in battle. I say they are locked in a battle against the forces of the Chaos Master, who is determined to claim all of the Nagotha himself. Tolakos is but a few leagues from the fighting is fiercest.
Oh wow, look at this big arm wrestle. Is that how they're fighting each other? Just huge arm wrestle. Battle of the gods.
Am I the only one that oh god, what's that meme picture? Where it's like the black guy and the white guy and they're so muscular and they're just doing that.
You son of a bitch.
Oh, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger and in Predator.
Oh yeah!
I'll put a clip. I need to remind myself. I think I've got that clip somewhere in my computer. Or if not,
Awesome.
I'll Google it.
Awesome.
Then
Sorry.
Then I must retrieve the lost stones quickly.
You say, rising from your seat in your eagerness to press on with your quest.
Indeed you must, but it would benefit you not if you were to reclaim them and then be unable to return to your home world for the lack of knowing where to go. Be patient for a little longer, Lone Wolf, and I shall show you where, in all of this vast region of the Dazian, you can find the one shadow gate that leads to Magnamund. I say Magnamund is where you want to go.
Pray with me. The vision of the Nathgoth forest dissolves into a new one, and a new one takes its place. It is of a city perched atop a rocky cliff, surrounded by a wall fortified with towers and grim bastions. Red flames glare from a row of tiny windows, and its huge stone gates emblazoned with the symbol of a fiery dragon. This is Haggadar, says Serocca cheerlessly. Once it was the home of the Sendai, the rulers of the Great Plains, that stretched to the very edge of the strongholds of Earth. They were the first to fall to chaos, and now their plains are dead. An empty wasteland of sterile rock and poisoned sand. Haggadar was claimed by the Chaos Master, and it had become his abode, but as his foul empire expanded, he grew tired of it and abandoned it for other, less remote cities. It lay deserted for an age before outlaws and refugees from Grukar sought sanctuary there from the creatures of chaos. It is now a forgotten city, yet within its heart lies a secret that even the Chaos Master failed to discover. The Sendai were guardians of a shadow gate. Long had they kept hidden this portal whilst they searched for a means to enter it. Unlike the shadow gates of your world, those of the Dazarine are closed. Only those who possess a key can pass from this realm into the universe of Aeon.
Where is this key which allows entry to the shadow gate of Haggadar?
You ask anxiously. Serocca raises her eyes from the table and smiles.
A power is the key, and the power is now within your grasp. The two lost stones of Nixator are the power. They are the key to your escape from the Dazian. You must retrieve them from Tolakos in the Nagoth forest, and then go to Haggadar. The Shadow Gate is to be found in the Temple of Sendai at the center of the city. I can help you reach Tolakos, but beyond Nagoth, our powers of vision grow dim. You must let your skills and power and this map be your guide there.
Let's take a look at the map. Oh wow, we're actually holding the map this time. So the elemental stronghold of Earth. Hey, on there's a shadow gate blocking it. Elementals. So between the earth and the water. Melodor's there. Plain of Guacamole. Sandai Wasteland. I think that's where we were. Vozadar is where we are now. Okay. And the realm of Paradox is outside of all of it. And Neverness in the bottom right. I'm actually kind of scared of that name.
Neverness. Yeah, same here.
And then we've got, I'm guessing N/N is more Neverness. I thought it was not applicable at first. Like, oh no, this place don't apply. Don't care about that.
Just ignore this splot. Don't worry about it.
From the pocket of her silken robes, she produces a map, which she presses into your hands. Mark this on your action chart as a special item, which you carry inside your tunic. You unfold the parchment and study its contents, see the accompanying illustration, noting with dismay the great distance which separates the Nagoth forest from the city of Haggadar.
Come, you must rest before your journey to Talcos. I shall arrange for my Oktar to take you there after you have slept and recovered your strength. Serocca rises from her seat and bids you to follow her to an adjoining room where there's food, a bath, and a comfortable bed. There, she leaves you, returning to the table to consult its visions, while you try to relax despite a heavy sense of foreboding that haunts your mind. Restore your endurance to its original level before turning to page 210.
We haven't been in any fights. That's weird. Probably saving a big one.
We shot a lizard. Got insta-killed. Insta-killed it, I mean.
It seems as if you have only just closed your eyes when you're woken from your sleep by the sound of Serocca's voice echoing in your mind.
The time has come for you to begin your journey, lone wolf. Praise the Lord.
Quickly you dress and gather together your equipment before joining her at the Table of Visions.
I've chosen took throne, my most able and trusted Uka captain, and the company of his best task guards to escort you to Tolakos. He is familiar with the forest tracks of the cat trisect, and he will ensure that you do not lose your way. Find the path to the Lord.
She brings forth the black
Do not
box.
lose your way.
She brings forth a black box inlaid with sparkling gems and unlocks it with a star-shaped key, which she wears on a slender chain around her neck.
I take this lone wolf and keep it safe,
He says, handing you a pyramid-shaped obsidian seal.
The war against the Chaos Master has made the Meladorians suspicious of all save their own kind, and they are wont to attack anything they fear could be an agent of chaos. When you meet them, show them the seal, and your safety will be assured. Trust in the Lord.
Mark the obsidian seal in your action chart as a special item which you... Oh shit, we gotta get rid of something. We gotta get rid of something. Oh, here we go. Go.
This is...
Okay, I know what we can get rid of. If I remember correctly, in storage, we should have more shields. Yeah, we definitely got one extra shield in storage. And
I was gonna say ditch that quiver with only 2 arrows. I mean,
Oh.
we think we should have another quiver. Yeah, we do.
We do. Oh yeah, it's a good call. Good call.
Oh, apparently we only dropped 1
Just
arrow.
Pop it 1 arrow at a time. There we go. There we go. That's a good call.
Just throw them on our floor. Here, take some arrows.
I do not speak of your quest to anyone except their leader, Lorcan Ironheart. I seek him out. In him, you can place your trust. Trust us, Lord. While you slept, we communicated with our minds, and he has vowed to help you find the lost stones. I say he will help you find the way to righteousness.
Amen! She puts down the black box and gracefully walks towards the narrow exit from her chamber. In the room beyond, you see a stockly Okar, clad in polished bronze armor, waiting patiently for you to appear. This here is Tutron, she says fondly. He will be your guide. The creature brings himself stiffly to attention and salutes you with pride. What should he sound like?
Well, we never use the cat voice, and they are like hairy, chirruping. So something between a cat and a bird, maybe.
I am perfectly honored to have been chosen, he says, using a language that approximates to your own. You return his salute and then bid your thanks and farewell, Serocca. You will succeed, she whispers as she kisses your cheek. You must succeed. Turn to page 4.
This is my Ender voice.
This is my indoor voice.
You leave Serocca's chamber, thank God, and follow Tuktron as he leads you out of the tower and along a busy street towards the city's main square. 3 gleaming bronze chariots, each drawn by a team of strange horse-like creatures called Onipa, are ready and waiting to take you to Tolakos. With the Ukor captain, you climb aboard the leading chariot and grab the handrail as its driver cracks his whip. The Onipa surge forward and, in a cloud of thick dust, the chariots race out of the city and along a stony road that cuts through the center of the valley beyond. So this is our first look at these airy creatures. Those are apes. That's the planet of the fucking apes.
That is. That's not bird-like or cat-like. Those are ape-like.
I guess we got our voice then. It's Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
And those horses are basically well, I mean, I guess I can say they're like undead horses of some type. All right.
Yeah, they're cool-looking horses.
3 hours pass before you catch sight of a village on the road ahead. Tuktron grins and points repeatedly at his open mouth.
You want to eat here?
He says, shouting to make himself heard above the incessant rattling of the chariot wheels. If you wish to stop at Ukor village for a meal, turn to 124. If you wish to press on to Talakos without stopping, 258. What do you think?
Yeah, we gotta feed the horses too. We gotta feed the men. It's not just us, even though we're lone wolf. Tuktron slaps the driver's shoulder. Immediately, he hauls the reins and pulls at a lever, which activates the wheel brakes, bringing the chariot to a squeaking halt. The others stop nearby, and the guards clamber down from the riding platforms, unsteady, their legs weak and trembling after hours of riding along the bumpy track. They are familiar with this village, and without hesitation, they head towards a thatched hut that is set back from the road. You accompany the captain and his driver into the hut, stooping to enter the Ukar-sized doorway. The villagers seem delighted to receive you as their guests and ply you eagerly with food and wine. One of them, an elderly female with kindly eyes, hobbles to your side and places a deck of cards on the table. She, teller of fortune, says Tuktron. You want she tell fortune, yes? If you wish to have your fortune told, go to 24. If you wish to refuse her offer politely, go to 18.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm down for the fortune.
A wide grin cracks the old Ukor's face. Awkwardly, she picks up the cards and shuffles them in her rheumatic hands before asking you to choose 3 of them at random. Pick a number from the random number table.
Random fortune.
You get 8.
You turn the 3 cards over and notice that a different symbol is depicted on each. The first shows a castle on a hill, the second a dragon breathing fire, and the third a black serpent with red fangs. Wow, great. The old crone draws patterns in the... This is so ape-like. Why are they saying birds and chirping? And the old crone draws patterns in the air with a crooked finger and mutters to herself unremittedly. Tuktron leans forward and offers his services as a translator. She say, you will go to castle far away, where dragon breathe fire. In this castle is snake. Beware of snake, for it is very poisonous. If it bite you, you dead. Turn to page 96.
While you ponder the meaning of her reading, she retrieves her cards from the table and shuffles away to help her daughters gather the empty food bowls. Tuktron swallows the last of his delicious meal and rounds it off with a hearty belch. The Ukor villagers thank him, for it seems that such a reaction is the highest compliment one can pay after receiving Ukor hospitality.
We can go now, yes.
He says, wiping his mouth on his sleeve. You nod your reply, and he in turn barks an order to his company to return to their chariots. As your chariot pulls away from her village, the old fortune teller waves farewell, and you return her gesture with a smile.
Aww, how wholesome. A few miles beyond the village, the road leaves the valley and crosses an open expanse of lush grassland. The hours roll by as you watch the passing landscape with increasing wonder as you try to comprehend how it can thrive beneath a sunless sky. Slowly, the plain descends towards a wide river, sluggish with sediment and flanked by tall gray-green trees. A bridge spans the dark water, and the road continues beyond towards a line of hills. The bridge is built out of stout timber, but as you draw closer to it, you sense that something is seriously amiss. If you had the Makai display of Hunt Mastery and I reached the rank of Prince Bound,
Yeah, I'll put you out your misery, we'll just go there. 48.
Thank you.
By magnifying your vision, you are able to see that the middle of the bridge is damaged. Many of the planks have been torn up and strewn across the surface at random, crudely disguising the gaping hole. You scream a warning to Tuktron, and he is able to halt the chariots just in time as they thunder towards the approach ramp. If you have the Mandikai discipline of Pathsmanship and have reached the rank of Tutelary or more, 69. Nice. Let's go there.
Nice. Your senses scream a warning that the trees harbor hidden enemies. They are lurking, ready to ambush anyone who attempts to cross the bridge. You tell Tuktron, and immediately he orders his guards to dismount and take cover behind their chariots, while he and his driver go forward to examine the damaged bridge. If you wish to go with Tuktron, turn to page 282. If you decide to stay with the guards defending the chariots, turn to page 158. I mean,
Well, let's go investigate.
we're the main character. We might as well go with him. I mean,
The two Ukor scurry across the planks, and you follow closely on their heels, running half-crouched to make use of the cover afforded by the parapet of the bridge. You reach the center of the bridge, and are relieved to see that the damage is not beyond repair. Whoever did this wanted to delay, not destroy. Tuktron signals to his guards to come and lend a hand with the repairs. But as soon as they leave the chariots, a chilling howl echoes from the nearby trees.
Akhtar!
Moans Tuktron, and his voice a whisper of fear.
Creatures of chaos.
A shiver runs down your spine when you see them. Lumbering hordes of twisted shapes lurch from the trees on either side of the bridge and stagger drunkenly towards the chariots. They appear to be neither animal nor human, but a ghastly fusion of the two. Now only two drivers remain, with the Onopatemes, and Tuktron is quick to see the danger. He commands the guards to return and leads them back across the bridge with his crystal sword held high. If you wish to follow Tuktron and help him defend the chariots, turn to 273. If you decide to stay where you are and attempt to repair the bridge, turn to 176. If you wish to abandon the Ukor and escape across the bridge on foot, turn to 10. Also, that ghastly fusion of animal and human, that's how fucking 8 started.
yep. That is true.
That's some beastie
If you wish
shit going on.
I like how this book has been like, if you wish to do nothing.
It's always giving us that. Just don't stay. Luigi wins by doing absolutely nothing.
But he wins every time.
What do you think?
Well, we haven't had a fight in a while, so we should help the homies out.
Alright, defend the chariots.
Yeah. You reach the chariots just as the first wave of chaos creatures launch their attack. Raging viciously, they slaver in for the kill, fighting with fang and claw and yellowed tusk, a screaming horror, its body striped with orchard lines?
No clue.
leaps from the back of a started Onipa and hurtles towards you with its crimson jaw gaping wide. You tense yourself in readiness to strike as its shadow falls upon your face. Combat! This creature is immune to Mind Blast, but not Psy Surge. Owing to the speed and ferocity of this attack, you cannot evade combat or make use of a bow.
Right, this is our first fight of the book. Seems pretty simple to begin with. So we're probably just gonna one-shot him.
Probably. Oh my
I think we should
god,
be
all
getting,
these.
Yeah.
I'm always amazed by all these bonuses we have.
Yeah. Kill. He did.
The creatures of this book are much harder than the other books. Just.
Yeah, eventually.
Oh.
You pull away from the dead actor in time to avoid the murderous leap of a snarling, dog-sized creature with a large, bear-like paws. It hits the ground and then leaps again and hangs on your arm. Its clawed feet raking emptiness as it tries to rip your stomach. You strike a blow that opens a ragged gash in its neck, but it still refuses to relinquish its grip and retaliates by sinking its fangs into your wrist. Lose 3 endurance points. We gotta fight the Hound. This creature is immune to Mind Blast, but not Psy Surge. If the weapon you are using to defend yourself is a broadsword, quarterstaff, or a spear, reduce your combat skill by 2 points for the duration of the fight. This is a long weapon and it's close quarters.
Ah, it's a good thing we like daggers.
Oh, and we can't use the
And
shield during the combat. Which again, makes sense. So we're gonna get a bit less than 46. We only lost 2 combat skill. Because of no shield. And it's an instant kill. If you win and the fight lasts 3 or less rounds, yeah, we'd pretty much stop before it started.
Pretty much. Trod runs to your side, his face and crystal sword splattered with the black blood of his foes. Hurry! This fight lost! You go! Go now! He snaps and points across the bridge and the hills beyond. A cursory glance confirms his grim statement. Only he and 2 of his guards remain standing, and one fights left-handed, his right arm swinging, broken, and useless by his side. The others, including all the Onipa, have been slain by the howling creatures of chaos. Reluctantly, you obey Trod's command and hurry across the bridge, while as he and his brave Ukar guards fight to cover your escape. Not until you reach the first ridge of hills do you look back at the bridge, hoping to see Tron and his guards victorious. But your hope is in vain. All that remains alive at the bridge is the ghoulish gray horde of the feasting Acti.
No.
Oh, come on. We even went back to defend the homies, got bit, and this is what happens?
Fucking cut and run. Could've just done that.
Yeah.
Why do we have to know these people and we just get them killed? It happens all the time.
Everyone dies around Lone Wolf.
Shocked by your encounter with the Agta, you make your way deeper into the hills, skirting the road in favor of the wooded slopes, which offer good cover. Yet you keep the road in sight constantly to ensure that you are heading towards Tolokos. Your usual good sense of direction is vague and distorted, for in this region of the Dizian, there are no sun, stars, or points of the compass by which to gauge your position. The hours pass uneventfully until you reach a place where the road runs alongside a pool of crystal clear water, fed by a fast-flowing stream. 3 human-shaped warriors clad in armor are standing near the pool, scanning the woods, while their shaggy black equine mounts drink their fill. If you have the Manikai discipline of divination or pathmanship, turn to 150. If you've got neither of them, then you're screwed.
Your Kai sense reveals that the 3 warriors are Meladorian scouts, and they have been sent by their leader, Lorcan Ironheart, to meet you en route and escort you directly to his headquarters. If you wish to make your presence known to them, turn to page 189. If you wish to approach them under the cover of trees, turn to page 330.
Why would you sneak up on them? You know they're good guys.
Hi, I'm one of you.
Alright, 189. Stepping out from behind a tree, you wave and shout a greeting to the 3 Meladorian scouts. Instinctively, they dive for cover, fearing an ambush, and one loses a bolt from a crossbow-like device strapped to his arm. The bronze-tipped quarrel whistles towards your chest with unerring accuracy. Pick a number from the random number table. If you have the Mandakai discipline of mastery, add 1 to this number for every Mandakai discipline you have mastered after the first 3. For example, if you possess a total of 5, add 2 to the number you've picked. If your total is 0 to 2, you're dead. If it's 3 to 7, you'll take a hit, and if it's 8, you'll probably dodge.
Probably.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Thank god. The random number table was not kind.
You twist aside, and the bolt scrapes a line of flesh from your ribs before embedding itself into the trunk of a tree behind. Lose 4 endurance points. That did more damage than the dog. Stifling a cry of pain, you drop to your knees and crawl rapidly through the undergrowth, lest they fire at a place where you fell. You stop just long enough to staunch the blood from your wound, but as you are about to continue, the scout bursts through the foliage and surround you. Their bows held ready to finish you off. One reaches down and pulls you roughly to your feet, demanding that you identify yourself or suffer the consequences. You tell him who you are and suggest that he look in your pocket if it requires proof that you speak the truth.
The scout removes the obsidian seal from your tunic pocket and studies it thoughtfully. How will I like this? Very well, he says, satisfied that you are the one they have been detailed to escort. We will take you to look on Ironheart. He pockets the obsidian seal. Delete this special item, and you don't get your other one back. And motions you to approach his strange, long-haired steed.
All right, wait here. I gotta go pick up 2 arrows and a quiver I left behind.
You ride pillion behind the saddle, yet the creature's shaggy coat makes for a comfortable seat as the steed gallops like a racehorse along the winding hill road. Huge tree trunks flash past, a blur of grey and brown, and the hills gradually recede until the forests rule supreme. The scouts leave the road and follow a smaller track, which delves deep into this majestic timberland. They slow their pace, feeling safer now that they are back in familiar territory, and soon you arrive at a clearing. Hundreds of Melodorian soldiers are encamped here inside a perimeter wall of earth and logs. A cordon of sentries patrols the wall. They are alert and nervous, their eyes scrutinizing every shadow. A wheeled barricade of sawn timbers protects the only entrance, and, at your approach, it is pushed aside to allow you entry. A small log cabin has been built at the heart of the tented encampment, and the scouts bring their steeds to a halt near its front door. Quickly they dismount and usher you inside to meet their leader. And I think we'll end it here because we're just before the hour mark. So,
Okay.
your thoughts on this one?
We went from one place to the next. We're just meeting the people, meeting the lords. I'm digging it.
I think we can all agree the best highlight is the preacher.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh god, fucking
Serocca.
cat lady, Serocca, yeah. Oh
Yep.
my god. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah.
And I say, take this on your epic quest for enlightenment.
So, if you would like to see some more, make sure you comment, a like, and a subscribe. And we will see you
Amen.
in the next episode, in the next chapter of the Book of a God.
Hallelujah.
This is the Bible. Well, the Magnamund Bible. Take care.
Take care. I say take care.